We went over to Lynn's this morning and started to work on the 62 TR4 project, and it was thundering and lightning, so we came back home figuring it was going to be a bit of a write-off of a day as far as the rain was concerned. And as you can see, it's still raining out, but we want to, it's kind of one of those days where it rains for a bit, stops, rains for a bit, stops. So right now, obviously we're in the rainy bit, but I figured what I would do is maybe try to do a project in between the rainfall, so as I don't get too wet. And we just got some foam cushions out here in the rain. I'm just trying to clean these up a little bit so I can lay on my convertible top for the 62 TR4. Because you want to try to see if we can clean this up. You can see it's pretty dirty and grimy from sitting outside for a number of years. I'm not sure, this could actually be the original top to the car. Anyway, it doesn't seem like it's in that bad of shape. It's just in a bad need of cleaning. You can see on the inside, actually, it's still fairly white. So I think what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to clean this up as best as possible. And in order to do that, I'm just going to try this and see what happens. I'm going to try this Dawn Power Wash out on the top, along with a scrub brush, sort of a soft bristle brush. So we're going to try to see if that helps get some of the dirt out of the top. I have a backup plan, possibly maybe trying to use some bathroom cleaner, so something with a little bit of bleach in there. I'm not sure if I want to go that far. I think I'd rather just do the Dawn first and give it a good scrub and see how it comes up. Then the plan is to do the windows with Plastex, so we'll polish the windows up. Obviously, we're not going to use the brush on the windows. We'll just leave those to the end and then use the Plastex to clean them. The Plastex with some microfiber towels to clean those up. And then I think we'll treat the top in the end with some Aerospace 303, is it? Protectant, which is kind of, I think it's got a UV protectant in it as well. So let me see what I've got over here on the table. Yeah, so it's got a UV protection in it. So we'll probably just treat it after with that. So that's the plan, but obviously when it's raining hard, I don't want to be out there. I'll just get out there when it stops raining, and we'll start the project. All right, the rain stopped temporarily, so I thought I'd give you a little bit better overview of what the top looks like before. So you can pretty much see there's lots of embedded dirt in there. We did attempt to clean a little section of it, and that gave us hope to continue on. So that was just a wipe down over at a Lynn's shop. So we're going to continue on with that process. So there's what it looks like now. Obviously, it'll be a little bit tougher to clean around the windows, a little bit more detail in those areas, but we're going to concentrate on the flat part first, and then go from there. So first step is to wet it down with some warm water, and we're going to hit it with that Dawn Power Wash and just let it sit for a few minutes before we get the bristle brush out and start brushing it lightly. We don't go too crazy, but that's the plan. So anyway, we'll set you up on the time lapse here, and you can watch the process. All right, it's been sitting for about 10 minutes or so, and I think we're about ready to break out the scrub brush on it. So let's go to town and see how well this comes up after sitting for a little bit. All right, let's give this a quick rinse with the hose and see how we're doing. It's coming out pretty nicely. Yeah, that's working okay. So we'll continue on cleaning, and then we'll do the ventilation at the end. We'll do that along with the windows. We'll continue cleaning, and we'll see what's left at the end. All right, we just folded the top in half, and we're going to do the bottom side now. So we're going to do the power wash again, let it sit for 10 minutes, and we'll come back and we'll give it a scrub with a brush. All right, we're going to start the scrub, and we're just going to be careful around the windows. We just want to do up to the edge of the windows. We don't want to brush over the windows, so we'll just be careful along those edges. Here we go. All right, let's get this rinsed off. All right, final rinse coming up, and then gonna have to find a place to hang it up to dry, and before we can move on to the next step of cleaning the windows and doing the Aerospace 303. So we'll worry about that once we get this finished up. Oh, by the way, just so you know, I did do the inside of the top lightly, just around the edges here, just to clean those up. They're actually in pretty good shape, obviously not seeing the worst of the weather being on the inside of the car, but I did clean them up just briefly. So let's go ahead and rinse this off, and we'll hang it up to dry. All right, it's turned into a very nice afternoon, a little bit breezy, but sunny, at least temporarily anyway. We are on to the next step, which is to polish the windows, and we're going to be using this Meguiar's Plastex to do that. It's really a small amount on a foam applicator or a terry cloth or microfiber cloth. Polish it and then remove it. Once it hazes over, you can take another microfiber to buff it off. So we're going to start that process. There are a couple scratches here in the windows. You can see there, one scratch there, one scratch there. We'll try to get those out to the best of our ability. But the windows are actually in pretty good shape overall. I'm not sure, again, whether this is an original top. I doubt that it is. Otherwise, the windows themselves would be quite yellow. So I'm thinking this is a newer top. Anyway, we'll go through the process of doing the plastics and on the bottom side, and then we'll flip it over and do the top side, and then we'll follow that up with our application of the Aerospace 303 protectant. All right, windows are as clean as they're going to get. Did manage to remove a few scratches and all of the water spots. There's a couple big scratches that I can't do anything about. There's one big scratch here. You can probably see it there. It goes across the center of the middle glass. And there's one little one that goes, if you can see this one, probably goes this way. But other than that, actually it's in pretty good shape, so can't complain. Not going to need to buy a new top because they're expensive. Anyway, let's do our final treatment with the protectant, and we'll give you one last shot of it. All right, onto the Aerospace 303, and we're just going to put this on a rag and wipe it in. Be careful not to put it on your freshly cleaned windows. All right, guys, the final look of the top, all cleaned up and conditioned, and I think it turned out pretty well considering what we started with. So a few hours work, a few hours hard scrubbing, and turned out pretty well. So most of the dirt's come out of it. It does still have a little bit of little spots here and there, but not bad. It's nice and clean, feels clean, that's for sure. Again, I'm not sure how well this is coming out in the camera, but it's pretty darn good for a white top. It's seen I don't know how many years. It's in great shape. Happy to put this back on the car. All right, we'll put an end to the video here. Well, thanks for watching, thanks for commenting, and thanks for subscribing. We'll see you on the next video.